What is up, everyone? It's me, Jrod, the filmmaker, former filmmaker, frequent fighting gamer from Philadelphia, and we are back with another wish list video. I just had to do it. Because, guys, if you don't know, there's another rumor of another game that might be from NRS, might be from Warner Brothers Games, that is coming out. And let me just rewind all the way back to when I started this. The first video I technically did in this vein was Beast Boy for Fighter Pack 3. Way back when Injustice 2 was out, I wanted Beast Boy to be in Fighter Pack 3, so before they announced the characters that were in it, I made a video about why Beast Boy should be in it, some clues on why I think they were hinting at Beast Boy being in it, and yeah, that was the first one. Then later, when Mortal Kombat 11 dropped, I did my Combat Pack 2 wish list, and it features some characters that made it into the game, like Shiva and Fujin, and it features some characters that did not make it into the game, like Ash Williams, Cyrax, and the guest character I wanted was Rick and Morty. Then, fast forward a little bit, we did an Injustice 3 roster wish list. Then we got a rumor of a Marvel fighting game coming from NRS, so I did a Marvel vs. DC roster wish list. Then Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl got announced, so I did a Nick All-Star Brawl wish list. And finally, we are here with the Multiversus wish list. And if you don't know what that is, it's a rumored game that is a platform fighter, so similar to Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl and Super Smash Brothers, that features IP from Warner Brothers. And there's, it's just a rumor at this point. It's just speculation, but there's a lot associated with this rumor. It might be made by NetherRealm Studios. It might not be. It might be a free-to-play game. It might not be. It might feature characters like DC superheroes, Cartoon Network characters, even maybe characters from The Lord of the Rings, potentially, and LeBron James. But that is all speculation, so I cannot say that any of that is true or false. Until the game is fully announced, we really have no idea. But before I get into the characters I would want into it, I just gotta say, I think the concept is a pretty good concept, and it's very believable, because Super Smash Brothers is one of the highest selling fighting games of all time. So I can see a fighting game company like NRS, or even if it's a different studio at Warner Brothers, I can see why they would want to make a platform fighter with a bunch of IP that they own in the same vein to get a lot of people interested. It's also rumored that it's free to play, which, if that is true, I think that's kind of good for accessibility, because anybody can just download the game and try it out. But free to play games are never completely free. It's probably going to be supported by microtransactions or in-game purchases. And if it's similar to like a Brawlhalla, then that will probably be like a set base roster of a couple characters, and then you pay for the opportunity to get to play as more characters. Maybe you pay for those characters like a similar DLC model, or maybe you just pay for like an unlocked version of the game where you can be, whatever character you want. But as I said, all of this is speculation. We really have no idea. I think it's a great concept, but personally, I want the same concept, but I just want a 2D fighting game like Injustice and Mortal Kombat. Yes, you can introduce new mechanics like tag and, new movement mechanics and different types of things, but I just love the way that NRS makes 2D fighting games. They look so beautiful, hyper realistic. The combos just feel so like rewarding to hit, and they look so good when you rewatch them and replay them. So yeah, if I had my choice, I would want the same game with the same IP, same type of characters, but just make it like a more standard 2D fighter similar to Injustice and Mortal Kombat 11. I know everyone doesn't want this because you're dealing with potentially really goofy looking characters like Bugs Bunny, for example, and to have them in an ultra realistic looking fighting game might be a little off-putting. But you know me, I want the thing that looks strange. I want to try it. I want the goofy, funny mashup, because I think that makes for just more unique gameplay, and I think it makes for better games in the end. But either way, I'm gonna have to try out Multiversus. I just have to. I feel like at this point, I am required to try it out because of my love of NetherRealm Studios, Warner Brothers games, my love of fighting games, and recently with Nick All-Stars Brawl, which I have been playing a lot. there should be some videos in the works coming very, very soon for Nick All-Stars Brawl. But yeah, now I'm just mixed up into the platform fighting game community, trying not to be a noob or a scrub. It's hard, but without further ado, guys, let's get into my wish list for who I want to see in Multiversus. And I split it up into four categories. We've got DC characters, Cartoon Network / Adult Swim characters, Hanna-Barbera characters, and then other for other categories. So let's start off with the DC characters. Some of these are like obvious picks. You got Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, the Trinity, so to speak. I feel like, you know, they automatically get VIP entrance into any Warner Brothers games that they could potentially fit in. Then, in addition to that, I would like to see characters like Harley Quinn, the Wonder Twins, which I think is a kind of out there pick, but could also be really sick in this game. Beast Boy, I don't want to repeat too many characters from my Injustice roster wish list, but I think Beast Boy and Shazam would also be really good in this game. So that's what I want to see from DC. Also, there is a rumor, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, that this game is like a tag-based game. So a lot of these characters are duos. They are, you know, two characters in one, similar to the Wonder Twins. That'll continue throughout. So for our Cartoon Network / Adult Swim characters, I would love to see Mordecai and Rigby, or any representation from regular show because I love the show. Grimm from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. He'd be accompanied by Billy or Mandy or like Stan Helsing or Blackula. A lot of really wild characters on there. So yeah, anyone that they decide to do. Then next up, Samurai Jack. I would love to see Samurai Jack in this game. I think he would work perfectly. You know, I like sword-based characters, and these games usually do have a lot of sword-based characters. So Samurai Jack would be cool. Next up is Rick and Morty, bringing them all the way back from my Mortal Kombat 11 wish list. I think they would fit a lot easier into a game like this. Still would love to see them in a game where they don't fit, but they would definitely fit in Multiversus. Next up, we have, I want to see some representatives from Infinity Train, one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows ever created. And personally, I would love to see Grace, definitely. And then the other character could be anyone. It could be Tuba, it could be Mirror Tulip. Any of those characters, you know, I would love to play. But Grace, 100%, she would be my main. I'm just calling it now if she's in the game. Then next up, we have Space Ghost. I didn't know whether to put him in DC, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Hanna-Barbera, but he's somewhere in there, so I put him under Adult Swim. Space Ghost, and also Mike Tyson. Hear me out on this one. Mike Tyson had a show on Adult Swim, Mike Tyson's Mysteries, which was like a ripoff of Scooby-Doo, but it was a pretty funny show. And it would be cool to see Mike Tyson in the game as a playable character. And then finally, I would like a representative of Craig of the Creek, another one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows. I want Craig for sure, and then the secondary character could be Kelsey, it could be JP, it could be his brother Bernard. I just think that having Craig in the game would be super sick, and he's another character that I would for sure play. He also fits that like archetype that a lot of these games have, where you're looking at like Lucas and Ness in Smash, and the Loud House characters in Nick All-Stars Brawl. I think Craig perfectly fits right into that archetype, whatever it may be. Next up, Hanna-Barbera characters, and I would be doing a disservice if I didn't start this list with Shaggy and Scooby, because Shaggy is probably the reason we're getting this game. So many people asked for Shaggy to be in Mortal Kombat 11 that it had to be officially deconfirmed by the devs of the game.
Will Shaggy be in Mortal Kombat 11? Shaggy will not be in the game at all, ever. Sorry, dead meme.
But in a game like this, Shaggy would fit in perfectly, and not only that, they got to make him OP. We all know about this Ultra Instinct Shaggy. He might be the most powerful character in the lore. He's beat Big Chungus, he's beat Thanos. So yeah, you got to make Shaggy OP if you put him in this game. Next up, we have Tom and Jerry. I love Tom and Jerry. I love the original cartoon. I love the characters. And also, there's a Tom and Jerry fighting game that I might be trying out on the channel. It's a really old game, but I might be trying to bring it back on the channel just to see. Next up, we got Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. That's pretty self-explanatory. Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Then we got Quick Draw McGraw, another of my favorite characters. I guess it could also be a Quick Draw McGraw with like El Kabong secondary moveset, something like that. I think could work. Then we got Magilla Gorilla, and finally the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I don't know if they're like a duo character because they did have a crossover at one point. Maybe Fred Flintstone and George Jetson are together and you get the best of both worlds. Then finally, the final category of other. This consists of some different properties that Warner Brother owns. So you've got the Looney Tunes. Any rep for the Looney Tunes would be fine. I think Bugs and Daffy is an easy layup. Tasmanian Devil would be cool. Marvin the Martian. I would play as literally any character that they put in from the Looney Tunes. Then we have the Iron Giant. Yeah, I have no idea how he's going to play because he's huge. But if they can make him work in this game, that would be sick. Underrated WB property there. Then we got our Mortal Kombat reps. How could I make this video without Mortal Kombat reps? And I think the easy choice is Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but you could also go with Johnny Cage and Sonya. You could also go with Liu Kang and Katana. I feel like there's a lot of different pairs in there that you could bring out that would be some awesome characters. You could go with Noob Saibot. Noob and Saibot is automatically a duo. And then it gets a little weirder with these last couple ones because these are some live action Warner Brothers properties. I'm pretty sure live action is fair game. The live action Warner Brothers characters I would love to see in this game, and I think they have a place, are The Mask from the Mask franchise. I think that's an easy dub. They've been requested for Injustice games, Mortal Kombat games in the past, and The Mask I just think would fit perfectly in this game, and also would be one of my mains for sure. Like a Joker, like a new version of the Joker specifically made for this game in The Mask. I think their playstyles would mesh perfectly. Then we have Austin Powers, the Spy. We got Austin Powers, and it might be Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. Some sort of duo, Austin Powers and Mini-Me, some sort of duo in there would work out perfectly, I think, and would be a funny, goofy gag character that I think could be fun in the game. And then finally, when I was looking at Warner Brothers properties, this one stood out to me. They are a duo, they are Warner Brothers property, and I would love to play as them. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan from Rush Hour. Off the top of my head, I don't even remember their character names because I have not seen the movie in a while. Detective Lee, and Detective Carter. Lee and Carter. I'm like 90% sure that that's right. But I would love to see Detective Lee, Detective Carter from Rush Hour. I think they would be hilarious characters, and that would be strictly from a gameplay perspective. Now, if, you know, some of the rumors say that there isn't a big enough budget for voice actors in this game, if all these characters could be fully voiced by their original actors or sounded like actors in some cases, it would push this game over the top. It would make it even crazier. Because, like, for me, I don't care about, like, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. There's been tons of iterations of them with different voices. But if we get voices for characters, like if we get Tom from Tom and Jerry with his human scream as, you know, his hit reactions, or we can get Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan to come in and voice their characters from Rush Hour. There's just so many iterations, like, where this could be so sick. Voices for Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes characters. I think that would all be great, and it would be an added benefit. Now, this is going to be my first time. I'm not really going to do any guest characters in my wish list. That's the whole wish list there, guys, because I don't know. I think going with people like The Mask, Austin Powers, and Rush Hour, I think that qualifies enough. That's close enough to a guest character. But you never know, because NRS games have been known to do these guest characters. Platform fighters have been known to do these guest characters. Smash has some of the most guest characters I've ever seen on a roster. So who knows? There might be some guests coming up, and who knows where they could come from. Maybe there's properties that Warner Brothers has been holding on to that I haven't even been thinking about. But guys, that is going to be it. It's about 30 characters, maybe more. I'm not entirely sure, but that is my roster wish list for Multiversus. And if this rumor is true and this game comes out, guys, I'm 100% going to be playing it. I just hope and pray I had this idea, this epiphany, and I think this is the best case scenario. What if all of these rumors that we've gotten circulating, what if they're all true? What if NetherRealm Studios has already started working on Injustice 3, and they've been approached to do a Marvel fighting game, and they're already in development, at least, on Mortal Kombat 12, plus they might be working on Multiversus, and you know, the 2 properties that we're used to getting just exploded into 4, and now we're going to be getting them just even closer and tighter together. Maybe we'll get like Multiversus at the beginning of the year and Injustice at the end of the year, then Mortal Kombat 11 the following year, and then the Marvel. Who knows? Like, it's just a very exciting time to be a fighting game lover, specifically of NetherRealm Studios. I mean, there's also a lot of other studios making great games, and it's just a great time to love fighting games and to play them. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Tell me how you feel, and most importantly, guys, tell me who you would want to see in the Multiversus game. Go ahead and tell me down in the comments below. I will be reading all of the comments, replying to some, hearting some, letting you guys know that I'm watching you, and maybe if we get enough comments of characters I didn't think of, we'll do a part 2 of the list. But that's gonna be it for this one, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I do new videos every single week. Tell me if you feel me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.
Are no longer my concern.
Or yours, my king.
Another chest.
At least my father could still look me in the eye after all I've done.